Hi everyone, my name is Becky. I'm 29 years old and I live in the south of England. Now, I have decided to create this YouTube channel because I have set myself a challenge for 2016 that all revolves around literature. Something that I absolutely adore. I've been a bookaholic for many years. I adore reading. It's something I've loved to do since childhood. But there was something that happened earlier this year which has set me on this path to do this challenge. And what happened was that the BBC decided to make a drama of Poldark. Now, you're probably wondering how is a TV series and this challenge got a link. What happened was that I watched Poldark and I absolutely adored it. Now, I haven't seen any of the classic BBC drama from the 1970s. I hadn't read the books or anything. I just literally had this TV series. And I loved it. It's so beautiful and there's so much complexity and rawness to these characters and such. I just felt like, right, now the series is over. That covers the first two books. I'm going to read all 12 Poldark books. But I want to set myself a bit of a challenge. So I decided to read all 12 Poldark books in 12 weeks. Just to give you some perspective, each book is around 400 to 700 pages, give or take. The third one is a lot thinner. It's in the 300 range. But other than that, all the other books are 400 to 800 pages long. So to do that in 12 weeks when you're working full time and such was, it's quite a challenge, and I did it, and I was so proud of myself, and I loved every single moment of it. It was absolutely wonderful. I fell in love with these characters. I felt I was a part of their world, and those books, they span about 50 years, so you're with these characters for a very long time. And at the end of the 12 weeks, I was happy because of where characters were, etc., but broken-hearted that it was over, but I knew I could go back to them. Anyway, that finished sort of around mid to late October, and all of those books are under my bed. They're still under my bed because I have no space on my bookcases whatsoever. FYI, I've got 5 bookcases in my house. And okay, they've got a mixture of DVDs, Blu-rays and books, but a good load of books are in there, and all 5 bookcases are completely crammed full, can't fit anything else in them, so I need a new bookcase. And I was at IKEA this week, and I was like, yeah, I really do need a new bookcase, or I could downsize my book collection. And as a book lover, that's something I don't want to think about doing. My books are very important to me, so downsizing is not an option. So I was like, yeah, just buy a new bookcase, that's fine. And then I started thinking, okay, I bought a house just over a year ago, and even though I have bought some new books and such, I haven't bought books like I used to, because I used to have money, but now I have to pay mortgage and bills and all that jazz. So I was thinking, I did spend quite a lot of money on books, but I have got quite a big collection, and that has just all of a sudden I just decided the other day, it's going to be Christmas soon, New Year, why not set yourself a new challenge? So I have decided that I am going to read one book every week for a year, but the book has to come from the book collection that I currently have. So, as you can imagine, that's a bit daunting to think of, having to weed all the way through my books and try and figure out which ones that I want to reread, and also it is really nice because there are books that I got, as birthday presents, or I picked up because I really and bought because I wanted to read them, but I wasn't able to at the time. I never got round to it, so it's nice to be able to read those books. So that's what I want to do. I want to read a book every week for a year, read the books that I haven't been able to get around to, reread authors' works who I haven't gone back to, and may have been several years since I've been in those worlds and such. And what I love about rereading books is that when you originally read it, you were in a different state of mind, a different age entirely, and then you reread a text and you find something new because of that time span between the time when you first read it and the reread. Something could have happened in your life which you connect with in that book, that's in that story, a certain character going through something similar, or something that you can connect to, not obviously not necessarily the exact same thing, but something. Looking at a situation when you're a young adult and you're going, oh no, I don't agree with that whatsoever, and then when you look at it from the adult, several years later, proper adult perspective, and go, hang on a second, that's hang on, that I used to believe that this way, but now I'm thinking completely another. I find it very fascinating rereading books and seeing what my perspective is on certain characters, certain events, etc. So so that's what I've decided to do. So it's a mixture of the Poldark challenge, one book a week, and also me wanting to look at my book collection and read those books I haven't gotten around to. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. Now, there are 4 series of books that I want to reread. So they are the Maze Runner books, but I've only got the first 3. I haven't got the 4th one, which is the prequel. So I can only, going, with my rules, I can only read the first 3 books. The second one is the Hunger Games books. Given that the last film is now being released, which I really, really liked, I'd like to reread the books again, because it's that thing, especially with a kind of post-apocalyptic kind of fantasy kind of world, in a sense, you see it in your head a certain way, and I thought that the films did depict that world very well, but I'd like to revisit it and see how, after some time, see how the world fares now in my imagination compared to the film, and compared to how I felt about it years ago. Okay, the third one is the Percy Jackson books. Now, again, I've only got the first 5, which was the initial Percy Jackson kind of collection. I haven't got the Olympian series. I remember I borrowed them from the library, the first, I think it was about 4, but I haven't read any of the others and I don't own them. So, following the rules, only reading the first 5 Percy Jackson books. And the last one is the Mortal Instruments series. Now, it's been, I first got into that book series because of the film that came out. I knew watching the film that obviously, because it's adapted from a book, fantasy book, there's going to be various things that they change, which, all film adaptations are. They're kind of their own unique perspective, look on a world, and you're never going to delve into the true depthness of the world itself. But I really love those books, and it's been a year since I last delved into that world. I haven't read the prequels, but I have bought the first one today, and I've had to order the other 2, and they're going to be with me in a couple of days. So they are in my book collection, but 2 of them are yet to reach me. So they count in my thing. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sort of choose them by random randomness. I've kind of made a list of the books that I want to read, but I'm just going to pick them at random, and if it so happens that the one that I pick at random is part of a series, then I'll read that series then from, you know, first to last book. But I'm not going to do that thing where I'm going to read all of the series ones first and then do all the singulars later, or vice versa. I'm just going to see how I go. See what happens really. So the first full week in January begins the 4th of January. So I'm going to start the first book then. As to what it's going to be, I don't know yet. I do have an idea though, because there is a book that I picked up about a month or so ago. It was about a month and a half ago, because it was when I was sort of on the last Poldark book, and this book it kept on intriguing me. Every time I went to Waterstone's bookshop to look around, I just found myself, I kept on going back to this same shelf about 5 or 6 times, and I was like, oh, for goodness sake, just buy the book, and then you can read it once you finish reading the Poldark novels. But I haven't really read a big book since the Poldark novel reading finished, because there was the writing style of Poldark. Winston Creighton was an absolutely amazing writer, but then having spent 12 weeks with the same writing style, so many pages, and then going to someone new, it felt very, very strange. So I've kind of been easing myself back into the writing styles of other people, and I'm just started reading one of my books, which has been on my book pile for about a month and a half now. So my plan is, there's the book that I'm reading currently, which is Lamentation by C.J. Sansom, and another book that I've got by my bedside table, are the only 2 books that I've got that I'm going to read before I begin this challenge. So I've got plenty of time to finish both of those books before the 4th of January, and then it will begin. So I'm going to stop there for now. And so yeah, that's my challenge that I've set myself. Hopefully I will get through it in one piece. We'll just have to see. But yeah, I'm gonna put all of my videos, all my thoughts about these various books on this channel, and also I think I'll use it also for other general thoughts about books, characters, themes, that kind of thing. Books that I didn't get along with, etc. Just generally stuff about books, I think, and see how I go. And I'll definitely be posting reviews of each of the books I read each week and keep you posted. So the next one that you will see will either be a video of me going on about books in general, or it's going to be my announcement as to what the first book in the challenge will be. But yeah, I will keep you posted, and see you soon.